like they're going crazy. I cannot believe how hard this wind is. Do you hear that? Trees are cracking. Oh my goodness. Trees are cracking. We need to go get down to the sheep. I don't know where to put them. I don't even know if the barn's safe. Oh my goodness. No, honey, it's not a hurricane. It's okay. It's not a hurricane. It's just really, really bad wind with the snow that's coming. There are more trees cracking. You can hear it. I don't know. Do you think they'll get the power on tonight? Oh, we need to start collecting some more firewood and get it refilled in the house. Okay, lots of things on our list for today. It's wintertime, it's getting colder. Winter storms are coming, and we have had our fireplace roaring, which I love so much. We also have 14 people in our house, so then you start to realize things that you've needed to update or needed to take care of and you haven't. I need a new smoke carbon monoxide detector because we actually, since the storm, don't have a properly working one. And that's one of those things that I feel like oftentimes we put off or we don't think about until all of a sudden you need one. And so needing to have the fire going later in the night and being able to have stuff going to keep the house warm, storms coming up, it was one of those things I wanted to take care of. So I was really, really thankful because we connected with this company who makes these, and their selling point that got me was that it is wireless. It has a 10-year battery life and is supposedly the easiest thing in the world to put together, and you can like smart connect it and all kinds of stuff. It gives you like voice alerts and things like that. And so I was gonna try to not bother the guys and just throw this together myself, and was like, okay, how hard can it be? So if I can do it, anyone can do it. So apparently it literally comes all together. The packet just fell right here with the screws in it. You just have to screw the little base up into it, pop this on, and you're like good to go. And look at that, guys. Can you see it? One single button to turn it off if you need to. So that's on my list of things that needs to get tackled today. So many projects that we're working on. Winter storms on their way, which I'm sure most of us are having to deal with. And I need to try to check off as many things as possible off of my list before they get here and I find myself in trouble. So step one today, we're gonna get this alarm up because, come on, safety. All right, how hard can this be, right? So take this, and apparently, oh, that's easy. Anchors, screws, put this up wherever we want it. Activate it with the little button back here, and then it's supposed to light up. Self-contained battery. I don't have to wire or do anything. Push the button to test it. So don't paint this. Got it. All right, we're gonna try to get this done because I need to get the fire going this morning because it is chilly, chilly, chilly outside. And ideally, we will have our fireplace going with a new, wonderfully working detector. And one that is made to kind of be a little bit smarter than the average bear and not just go off when you're cooking. Also a great selling point, I thought. That was so easy. I did not expect it to be that easy. 10 to be honest, I kind of was like intimidated by this and stressed about having to like figure this piece out, but fires and everything, like we needed to do it. And so words like wireless sold me. But that was really, really simple. So I've checked one thing off my list. Let's move to the next things on the list. Does anybody else feel like life is just so much? Like the years go by so much quicker and time changes, and of course all of these things that I know we all know are true, but sometimes it just feels like so much. And I feel like for our family, okay, for instance, past couple years have been crazy, family stuff, things, big changes, bad changes, good changes, right? All the different things. And then the hurricane hits and derails everything. And I was on the phone with my mom and we were talking about it and just how, like, I know it's been a few months, but it's still affecting so much every day. And so now we have this massive winter storm moving in, but so many trees are compromised. So much structure is already compromised because of the hurricane, that this crazy wind that we have blowing now, it's knocked out the power. It's knocked out the internet. Trees are coming down. The sheep, thankfully, are okay, but we're out there and we're like having to deal with this, and we've had to set up a little greenhouse and try to move stuff in there because our barn was destroyed in the hurricane, and now the greenhouse is being compromised because of the storm, and we're trying to get the sheep safe, and we're trying to get all the structures on the property safe, and the power's out, and so that means no water because we're trying to get the solar well pump working. And you know, it's just like all of those pieces start coming up, and I want to just stop sometimes and be like, Lord, why? Like, I'm tired, I'm done, I want a normal day, you know? And I think that happens to all of us. Like, even if you're not, you know, in the midst of, you know, the same things that we're going through, we hit these times in life, these seasons where it's so much that's happening. And that's definitely where we are. And for everything that we try to get done and accomplished, like, you know, knowing we need to deal with, you know, updating smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors and taking care of some barn projects and things, right? Like, we have these simple things that we know we need to do, and like, oh, this should be a nice, fun, easy day. And then boom, massive winds, boom, power's out, you know, lines are down all over our street, dealing with the sheep. What are we going to do? You know, kids are scared and worried. Is the power going to be out for, you know, weeks and weeks? Is it another hurricane? No, it's okay, right? We're trying to reassure them. You run into these seasons of life and these times where it is so much. And there's something about winter where I just want to draw in, you know, I think, again, the conversation with my mom that I referenced, like, we're talking about it and we're like, you know, it is so hard because everywhere we go, we're still seeing such the depth and extent of the damage from Helene. We're seeing, you know, our neighbors and ourselves, you know, we're still trying to build back. We're still trying to do all the things. And it really is so much. And it's heavy and it's sad and it hurts. And you're trying to, you know, help neighbors and rebuild and support people. And you're seeing, you know, local companies having to go out of business and people having to move and all of these horrible things happening that just really do make it so overwhelming. But you're seeing that every day, everywhere you go. And I was talking with her and I was like, Mom, you know, it's wintertime. Like, I just want to hibernate. I just want to curl up in a ball that's safe and warm. You know, our kids have been sick, you know, it's been sickness after sickness, and I'm so thankful, you know, I've been working on boosting my immune system for a hot minute, and so that had been working, but then I totally lost my voice. You know, I feel okay, but I have no voice, and so, you know, it's like every time you turn around, there's something else that happens, and life just feels so big sometimes and so overwhelming. And all I want to do deep down in my spirit is hibernate and rest. And that's why in our membership group here, we're reading through the scriptures, right? We're starting in Genesis, we're going through to Revelation, and I have been so loving just kind of holding up for moments of my day as I can and just resting there. And it's really brought up some big conversations in our family this week of, what are we doing? Like, what do we really want? What really matters? Where do we really feel the Lord calling us to be? Where are we finding peace and just comfort and some sort of recharging, what is that we're longing for? And it's funny because just talking with, people around town or on the call with my mom or with, Sabrina or my husband or our kids, just conversations, we all kind of feel that way. And I don't know, maybe you guys do too, where everything seems so big. There's so much going on. Weather's gonna weather. It gets more and more extreme every year. Wildfires in California, which we have friends that live there just over Malibu, and it's scary, right? When you're looking at this and you're checking on them and are you guys okay and all of that. We don't even touch on political, right? There's enough going on there. Like, there's so many big things happening. And I think sometimes it's easy to get lost in the bigness of life, the busyness of life. I'm overwhelmed. Our whole basement is still a massive work in progress. We're trying to deal with normal things. We've got outdoor projects and the barn and the animals and fencing and all these things that need to somehow be dealt with. And then the elements just make it more and more difficult, and they become overwhelming. And then you got bills to pay and kids to feed and a house to clean and homeschool and, and whatever you have going on. And it just all becomes so overwhelming so quickly. And I think that for some seasons, we can let that bigness overwhelm us and take over. And with good reason, a lot of times, right, that we're dealing with this. But sometimes in the midst of it, as we've been sitting here the last couple of nights waiting for the power to come back on, waiting for the internet to come back on, right? You can't do normal things you normally would do, waiting to see how much damage has been done by the storm, waiting to see how much snow you're going to end up with, waiting to see if you're going to be able to get out of your property and get to things that you need. There's something in that stillness where you just go, when I really reflect and really look inward in these things, you're right, life is big and there's a lot and I can't control it all. I can't deal with it all. Like, there's so many things, but I can rest and recharge and really heal inwardly. And then as that heals, I can start to look at what I can do outwardly. I might not be able to take care of everything today, but I can take care of something. And maybe I can only work on something for 15 minutes. But 15 minutes of dealing with this is going to be 15 minutes more than if I did nothing at all. Maybe I need to unplug from the internet for a while. Maybe I need to not make so many plans of things and just responsibilities and things that I have to do outside of the home, and I can spend a little more time at home. Maybe I need better sleep. Maybe I need to be eating better, right? Maybe I need to be getting up and physically moving a little bit. Maybe I need to just hone in and cozy up with those around me. I know I can think of a lot of things that really need some attention, and I want to work on those because I think they are important. And I think having a community here of others where we can encourage one another and uplift one another is an amazing thing. Having our members group where we're reading through scripture and we're like, we know we're doing that and we're there for one another. Like, that's so encouraging. But so is that time of rest. So is that time of recharging. And then moving through the things that we need to move through when we can. Because life is big. And sometimes the bigness becomes really overwhelming. And sometimes we just need to rest. We need to hibernate. We need to trust that the Lord's going to provide and He's going to lead that way and heal those wounds. And after the storm this week, the damage that was done, power being out, trying to keep a household warm when it's freezing outside and you have no power,
thankful so much for all of you who have sent in supplies and things since the hurricane, because we continue to use these resources. And it is important because we've had these like, wow, like stewardship is important, sustainability is important, rest is important, togetherness is important. And I think a time of just peace in the recovery effort is important. And maybe that's the case for you too. Maybe you're a neighbor here in Western North Carolina or Eastern Tennessee and you're going, yes, like right there with you. Maybe you live somewhere else, but you're still feeling the need for those things. That's wonderful because it is important. And I think it's okay to come on and say, you know what? I know I'm in my PJs. I'm trying to brush through my hair because I just got a shower because I'm so thankful that we have running water and hot water with the power and everything back on. But I think it's important to come on and say, you know, we had started our day and our video and what we were going to do and fixing up some projects and tips and tricks and things we're using to kind of get some of this stuff done. And I am thankful for those things. Yes. But I'm even more thankful for understanding that sometimes life is too big and too much is happening. And it's okay to step back and say, man, anybody else feeling overwhelmed? Anybody else just feeling tired, weary, just feeling like they need to nourish internally so that they can start to work through all the external? Because I am. That's me. And if you're there with me, man, welcome. You're in the right spot. Be sure, right? Subscribe, turn on your bells, leave me a comment, say hello. Because I think it's okay sometimes to say, you know what? Flawed, imperfect, losing my marbles, exhausted, too much going on. Yep, that's me. Welcome, friend. Let me pour you a cup of tea. Let's lift one another up, because sometimes that's life. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I think I need to hibernate. I think I need to recharge. I think life has been so big and thrown so much at me lately that I'm exhausted. And no matter how hard I try, or little things I'm trying to do to help, it's just not quite enough yet. And I need a little more, and that's okay. So that's just what I wanted. Well, not originally wanted to share with you. I wanted to share with you something really cool and fun and like putting it all together. We got a little bit of that done yesterday. Storm has happened. We're getting it all picked up. Power came back on. Finally, internet's come back on so I can actually finish putting this together and get it out to you all. But I'm glad that we get to share in this space. And I hope that if this can be a blessing to one other person, then praise God. Again, subscribe, like this, comment, engage. I'd love to get to know you all as we continue to share things that can hopefully be an encouragement to real people out there who are really going through these real things and going, man, you know, sometimes the nice, pretty stuff is great, but sometimes just real, raw, and honest is a big blessing too. So that's all I have to share today. I cannot wait to hear from you all and read through your comments. But I think, of course, a little more along these lines, you're probably going to appreciate these videos up here, and being able to share with you is a wonderful thing that we love doing. So click right there, check those out, and make sure you check out all those links down in the description. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, friends.